Namaste friends, welcome to the Bralette CAL conducted by Magic Needles India Limited. I am Jayalakshmi Ravichandran signing in on behalf of Magic Needles India. To make this bralette, I have used Magic Needles 3-ply cotton yarn. I have used 2 strands to make this bralette, 2 strands of cotton yarn, and I have used 3.5 mm hook. So this CAL will be conducted in 4 parts. The first part will be making of the cup, which is the most important part. So without wasting much time, let us begin the cup. I have completed the first cup, and an identical cup we have to make for the bralette, which I am going to do it along with you. It's a do it along. Okay, to make the cup I have taken 11 chains to begin with, which is the normal requirement for a small and a medium size bra cup. This bra cup can be customized to any size. For small and medium we take 11 chains. This 11 chains fit the small and medium size to the extent that this is the length from the nipple to the base of the bust. So each one according to the bralette size or the bra size, they can decide on the distance between the nipple and the base of your breast. Accordingly, so many number of chains we can take, and there is no restriction that it should be an odd number or an even number, no such things. You just take according to so many number of chains, and then we'll be working forward and backward for this bralette, bra cup. For the bralette we'll be working. To make the cup we'll be making stitches along this side, come here, again we go back, come back here, again we go, come here, go from here, come here, go from here, come here. Like that we make 7 rows back, forward and backward, and it will give you a very beautiful shape and a very fitting cup. You will be getting it. I have taken 2 strands from 2 balls of 3-ply yarn. So let's begin making the chains. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11, and here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and in the 10th one we are going to make DCs differently. So pull up your loop. I am going to make a twisted DC in the next chain. One DC done. Yarn over. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and in this first one it is actually I've made it loose, but it got tightened. I don't begin with a slip knot usually. And in this place I'm going to make 2 DCs. 1 2, then I will make chain 1 then again 2 DCs in the same place. So once you have done this tail end yarn that we began with, you can pull it up and tighten it. It will tighten. So you get a nice point here. Then you will place one DC in each of these DCs. So you will be having 11 and 11 on either side to begin with. And usually miss out on this place, so we need to count and check. We have done 2 DCs, chain 1, 2 DC. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, fine. The 11th one, it's not placed well, so let me place it well on this so that it becomes even. So on both sides we should have 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Fine. Now turn your work. You can either do chain 3 or you can do a standing DC or a twisted DC. So I generally do twisted DC. So it may look appear little intimidating, but it will give a neat finish. Yeah. Six here. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now we have come to the chain space. In chain space we make 2 DCs. Chain 1 and 2 DCs. Thereafter place 1 DC each till you reach the end. So I'll get back to you when I reach the end. We have reached the end, but before proceeding we need to check whether there are 13 DCs this side too. Here we do have 13 DCs. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Chain 1 space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So generally we miss out on this last DC, placement of this last DC. So we need to pick up this and the back loop here. This is our first DC that we did, and make a DC here. So every round, like by every time you come to the chain space, on either side the stitches increase by 2. So 11 will become 13 in the second round, 13 will become 15, 17, 19, 21, so on. So like that you have to work forward and backwards for 7 rows. So always you turn your work and do the next row. Come here, work all around. When you come to chain space, you will make 2 DC, chain 1, 2 DC. Again place 1 DC on each of the DCs of the previous row. Do not forget to place your DC on the very last DC, because that sometimes hides itself. So you have to count and then place it over there, and like that you have to finish 7 rows on either side like this. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times you have to go up and down. So let me meet you at the end of the 7th semi round, or row as we call it. So we have completed 7 rounds on either side, and now we are going to do this last 2 rounds, last 2 rows of placement of shells. So let us see how we go about it. Turn your work, place 3 DCs here in the very first stitch, or you may chain 2 and place 2 DCs here. It is up to you to do. I generally start with my twisted DC. So first DC done. Second DC and third DC. Chain 1, skip 2 DCs, and in the next DC place 3 DCs. Chain 1, skip 2 and place 3 DCs. Continue this repeat till you reach the chain space on top of your bralette. I have reached the chain space. My stitch comes here, so let me make 2 more. Then in chain space we are going to place 3 DCs, chain 1 and 2 DCs. So in chain place we'll have total of 5 DCs. And then we do not work in this stitch, instead we work 3 DCs here to have the mirror image. Chain 1, skip 2, 3 DC in the next, chain 1, skip 2, 3 DC in the next, so continue till you place the 3 DC on the last stitch. I have placed my first DC on the last stitch, so I will place 2 more. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, leave on this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So 8 3DC clusters on either side. Turn your work. Place 3DC on this very first stitch. One, two, and 3. Then chain 1, skip next 2DC and chain space, and place your 3DC on top of the first DC of next 3DC. Chain 1, skip next 2DC and chain space, and place 3 DCs in the first DC of the next 3 DC cluster. So continue till this end, till you reach the chain space here. I will tell you what you have to do over there. Yeah, I have come to the last placement before the chain space. So skip 2 DC and place your 3 DC on this particular DC. There is no chain space here. We have not done a chain here. So just skip these two and place your 3 DCs on this first DC, rather the last DC of 5 DC cluster in the chain. And then there is no chain space. In the chain space, we don't make a chain here. In the chain space, we make 3 DC, 1, oh god, it happens sometimes, 3 DC in the chain space, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 and 2 DC. So having done this, we need to have 3 DCs on this DC, last DC of the 3 DC cluster. So we missed 2, and the first 3 DC we place over here. Miss 3 DCs and place stitch here. Chain 1. We are mirroring the other side. Chain 1. We are missing this chain place and 2 DC and placing it on this. We are placing the 3 DCs on the last DC of every 3 DC on the other side. So chain 1. So continue till the end. I will meet you at this particular point when I reach this point. Yeah, I have come to the last placement of 3 DCs. So I have done one already. I need to place 2 more here. At this point we have completed the cups. Both the cups we have completed. Both the cups will be identical, same size, and there is an advantage of working with two strands, and this stands stiff and gives a nice shape, and the chain one space in the center gives you a very good raise. There will be 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the 7 rows and 2 more chain spaces, so totally 9 chain spaces, and this gives a filling. And these 2 rows, you want, if you want, you can extend further, or you can reduce, or you can do any other design that you choose to on the outer border of the cup. The basic cup is done in this way. There are many methods of doing the cups, but this method I found it good, and a nice cup was formed, so I have done and demonstrating this to you all now. We'll be back with many other CALs too. In the next part of this CAL, we will continue in the next week. Therein we will know how many chains we need to make and how to join these both cups, placing, how we will place them together, how we will join, so what pattern we are going to choose, how to decide on the number of stitches for that particular pattern and make it viable for to join these 2 cups and for this particular bralette. So those calculations I will be explaining, and plus how to go about doing the pattern under the base of the bralette, how to join the bralette and base of the bralette. We will be doing that in the next part. So wait till the next part, guys. Thank you.